Howdy, howdy. Welcome to a tool bag channel. This is a tool bag. Let me introduce you to my best friend for the past month or so, which is this 1988 Ford F-150 with the old 4.9 liter inline six. This truck had been sitting for a while. Owner just needed it to get it back going again, and boy, we've been through a lot here. New computer, new radiator. Radiator fan shroud was missing, so we got a new one there. Some radiator hoses, new thermostat housing, new. Had to take apart the steering column to fix issues with the key switch. Somebody had drilled it out, screwed up a bunch of stuff in there. Anyway, we're getting towards the end here. Hopefully, it seems like we had issues with the fuel pressure, so there's a new shiny new fuel pressure regulator on there. One of the last issues that we're having is just really hard cranking. The battery looks to be in decent shape. I haven't done a serious test of it or anything yet, but it has hard cranking. It gets a lot easier when you throw a jump starter on it. A lot of times that points towards a battery. Before jumping to that conclusion, though, because it looks like it was replaced pretty recently. Before jumping to that conclusion, I like to look at some of the wiring. And one thing I found was here we have the battery negative cable in here. And this is just something to really look at whenever you're looking at a hard cranking situation and the battery is not, it doesn't seem like it should be really likely to be bad. Battery terminal connections. You should have, it should be difficult or impossible for you to twist the battery terminal on there. If it's this style, when you wiggle the cable like that, you shouldn't be able to pull it out of that terminal. That should be really, really secure in there. Now, sometimes it's a good idea, if it looks like it might be pretty decently corroded, it can be a good idea to unbolt this cover here and just either wire brush or sand everything down in there just to make sure that the metal is good on there. These are not as good as a lot of OE terminals, but they do work when they're installed correctly. Another thing is to make sure there isn't actually corrosion on the terminals themselves. It's generally a good idea to wire brush these whenever servicing these terminals, just to make sure that those are good and clean, are going to have a good connection. Same thing for the inside of here. A good tubular brush, whether it's this style terminal or not, a good tubular brush in there, which I don't think I have one handy right now. But this is literally just a tube-shaped wire brush in there. Brush it up really good. Get a good, fresh, clean surface there. That, I don't think, is the problem here. This could be a little bit better, but it's at least tight. It's not yanking off or anything like that. What is not tight is where I found, okay, we have our ground wire going here. Bolts up to the motor. Fine. Probably will clean that up. In fact, I will, for sure. Then we go down to this wire, which is not original, and this is actually the ground going straight down to the starter motor area. I think it does actually attach to the starter motor. So there's a direct ground to the starter, which normally is not a bad idea. This wire connects to this wire. Big old wad of electrical tape, and it didn't quite feel right in there, and here is what we here's what we have. That's a new one for me. That is a new one. That is not. That's not what I like to see. So, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to get rid of that. This cable is long enough to reach that spot. So, or possibly even. Let me see here. Not quite enough to reach the negative terminal itself, but it can reach right here. So I'm going to remove that bolt, clean these up, get rid of this red cable completely. There's just no reason at all for it to be there. Put a new ring terminal on here and hook it up, and then we will see if that is helping our hard cranking issue or if we've got more to do. So be back in a minute. All right, coming back to this a little late tonight, but here's what I've done. This cable is long enough to reach that, so just went straight there, and I replaced that little smaller negative cable with this guy here. Since it was already here, might as well put it to some good use, give that engine a nice strong ground there. So, battery's been on the charge for a little bit. Let's see how she does. You'll just kind of have to take my word for it that it was hard cranking before, if it doesn't still do it now. Let's see what we got. Oh, I'm so glad I got that key switch straightened out. Oh, that's much better. Look at that, it even starts. Oh, let's see. Neutral. Much better. Dadgum, that's loud. I think we need a little exhaust work too. But yeah, there we go. Moral of the story, look at, if the battery is not suspected to be an issue and you got a slow cranking, before you start looking at the starter or yet another new battery, oh, we got problems. Oh boy, more problems here. It never ends. But yeah, look at that wiring. Make sure you don't have some weird crap like that going on. Alrighty, I think we're about to low fuel pressure. We'll have to find out what's going on there. But alrighty, well, that'll do it for now. Y'all have a good one.